America, the land of the free, a country where human beings can enjoy limitless freedom to act as they desire. Did you agree with me? If you said yes, you are wrong. The United States government limits our action to maintain peace and order. But until what point does those limits affect our lives? Until what point does that protection become an oppression? Tonight, I'm going to speak about the Amendment Bill 1792 and 1793, also known as the Violent Video Game Ban Act, and how harmful this Assembly Bill is to our principles of freedom and capitalism. According to the article, Harmful Matter, Gaming Freedom of Speech, posted on bitmap.com by Ruth McLaughlin, this bill tries to criminalize violent video games from selling them to teenagers. The 1793 tries to treat video games, mature-rated video games, the same way as porn is treated, separating them on adults-only shelves, away from the public eye. Is it really up to the government to decide what the creative minds of video games companies can sell? Is it really up to the government to instill fear on workers of what they can produce? Tonight, we're going to discuss about the problem that this bill creates and its origins. We're going to speak about some alternate solutions, and then we're going to speak about what would happen if this bill passed. According to GameStop.com magazine article, Schwarzenegger Scene's game restriction bill. This bill was introduced by Leland G. in October 7, 2005. According to Game Informer magazine article, Enemy of the State, posted on October 2010, this bill also requests a 2x2-inch label on violent video games, restricted sale to teenagers, and a $1,000 fee for liability for failing doing this. As I stated before, video games should be also treated the same way as porn, put it away from the public eye. According to the article, parents should be able to control what kids watch, posted in singoncalifornia.com by Leland G., the author of the AB 1792 and 1793. He states that there is a direct relationship between violent video games and violent behavior. He states that he is part of the California Psychologists Association and part of the American Academy of Pediatry. However, he fails to show statistics of how there is a relationship between violent video games and violent behavior, rendering his statement useless. On the other hand, new studies refutes link between violent video games and violent behavior by Joseph Jakmovich. He states that the Professor Christopher Ferguson, author of the book Journal of Youth and Adolescence, made a study on 500 students, and 40% of them were exposed to violent video games, and only 7% of them showed violent acts on the following year. Now that we have discussed the legal matters of this bill, we're going to discuss what you can do to solve this problem. The solution to violent video games does not lie on restriction or criminalization. It lies on the family, parents, and the developers, video game developers. According to the article Parenting Education found at the International Encyclopedia of Marriage and Family, parents have a great deal of is a vital part of the development of a children. The family parents are the ones who are to choose what their kids can watch, see, hear, and play at their homes. It is not the job of the government, neither is the job of a 2x2-inch sticker. But let's not put all the weight on the family parents. Video game developers also have a responsibility. They should add filters to violence and gore. According to the article posted on Kotaku.com, Brutal Legend filters allow families enjoy M-rated games, and GamePro article, Gears of War 2 to have optional violence profanity filter. There are some companies that are already taking a step in these actions. And it would be great if many other major companies do the same for their video games, making these games suitable for everyone in a family. Now that we have discussed some solutions to this problem, I'm ready to explain you what this bill would create if it was accepted. This criminalization of video games is against our principles of freedom and capitalism, and it will affect our economy. According to the article, the Electronic Software Association states that video games are a way of expression. Said that the First Amendment of our Bill of Rights says that we have freedom of speech. Therefore, criminalization of video games is nothing more than limiting the freedom of speech of video game developers. Also, it will limit the video game publishers from marketing their violent video games, limiting their freedom of commercial speech. How it would affect our economy? According to the article, video game industry added $5 billion to the United States economy in 2009, posted on Business Insider. Video games industry is one of the major part of entertainment in the United States and is a great deal of its economy, giving more than 36,000 jobs a year. Now that we have discussed the solutions to this matter, let's refresh our memory. We have spoke about the amendment bill, solutions we can have to that bill, and what will happen if that bill gets accepted. As a video game developer, as a future video game developer, I owe myself not having violence as the main focus of my games, and having violence filters in every one of my games. Not only because I want to be a responsible developer, but I want to be a responsible father. But that's me. I want you to be thoughtful of what you heard tonight. Go home, play with your Xbox, your PS3, your Nintendo Wii, and check the parental settings. You can control what I want you to control what your kids play. And more importantly, I want you to care for your kids, because it is the most important thing life will ever give you. So, it's the most important thing it will give you.